Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Bianca and today we're looking into my 2024 bullet journals.
1, 2, 3, funk it!
So let's get started with the first half of the year, which is this journal. This journal is Leuchtturm 1917, Leuchtturm 1970. Which means Lighthouse 1970. And it's one of the official bullet journal ones in the light pink color. There's a grid spacing page in the front, nameplate, a key which I didn't fill out, and intentions that I also didn't fill out. Then we're getting in the index, which I started, but I guess I never finished it. More index, then the future log. You can also see it's already kind of planned out for you in this journal because it's specifically a bullet journal, so I really like that. But the pages are a little thin of the Leuchtturm. So my future log, second page of the future log, and then we're into January. In this journal, I also kept it more minimalistic because I still was a little overwhelmed, so I kept it simple. So I did a calendar page, a month page, habits and steps, work page, work plan, some work notes, school, so work school. Better to say the school I need for work. That was that. Then school assignments. I messed up a little here, but that can happen. Sleep tracker, mood tracker, study, and my savings tracker. Then my finances tracker. Also, as you can see, my theme was just light blue because for winter I thought that would be fitting. Then I'm into my dailies. My dailies, I just wrote the first day. So, like, for example, I wrote down Monday, wrote down what happened, and then on Tuesday I would write down Tuesday, so I would always have enough space to write whatever I want to write, because some days there's not a lot, some days there is a lot, so I would always have enough space. So that's for when you want to have it very simple and easy, and it's very simple to recreate and to plan like that. Then we have some more work notes, more dailies. Also for the key, I didn't explain it, but it's also on the front. If you have a task, you make a little dot. If you completed the task, you cross the dot. If you migrate the task into the future, for example, you make that sign. If you moved it into the past, you make that sign. If a task has been cancelled or is irrelevant, you cross it out. You make a little dash for a note, a circle for event, and a star for priority. That's also the key that I use, in case you wonder. So you can see dash for note, event, and here I had something that wasn't important anymore, so I crossed it out. And here was something I had to do, and I checked it off because I did it. More work notes. Still, this was when I started the job. I started the job in December 23, so I still had a lot to learn, and so I wrote it all down to remember it. More dailies. I also was searching for an apartment because I wanted to move out. I didn't have concrete plans yet, but I made some mood boards and looked at apartment pages and stuff, so I made a page for that. Then we're into February. Here's a little heart because I got together with my partner here. Again, I made a calendar page, then February page, habits, steps tracker, and sleep tracker, and a work tracker. I think I never finished this one because it was too much work to do. It's very fun to look at, but it's very overwhelming to do, so I never finished it. then school page, school assignments and study tracker, then my February finances, an apartment list. I made a list with all the things I would need for apartment to see what I have, what I still need to buy. And I also did the math of how much money I need to have, how I can still save money and stuff like that. So I wrote all of that down to plan it. And then we're into the dailies again. More dailies. Here is when me and my partner got together. This is also a page from my partner. Very cute, I wanted to keep it. More dailies. Here I went to the cinema with my partner. Then more dailies. A little quote from a Chinese restaurant from the lucky cookies you always get. Then I made a playlist for myself, but also with my partner, because we have a very similar music taste and we both found it very interesting and funny. So we made a playlist. More dailies. The flowers we got each other for Valentine's Day. I got the white, my partner got the lilac. More dailies. And then we're into March, and from this point on, this journal is getting a little messy because it was in the middle of new work, moving, and everything, so it isn't structured as much anymore, and I skipped some pages, and sometimes I didn't even have time to fill it out. So if it gets messy now, that's why. Just to say that up front. More finances, then my calendar page, my March page, habits, steps tracker, sleep tracker, school page, school assignments and study. Here on the last day of March, I got the keys to my apartment, so I made a mood board for that because I was very excited, but it also was very stressful and a lot to do. And it took me some time to get into the new apartment because I needed someone that could transport my bed, because I didn't want to live in a new apartment if I wouldn't have a new bed to sleep in. So that took a little. Then my dailies, again, cookie, again, I always like to keep those, so I just glue them in. There I was eating out with my partner and a friend. Wanted to keep that. Here you can slowly see that I didn't have the time anymore to write things down. It gets less and less. Again, some math, how much I can spend and save and how much money I will need. More dailies, more math, more dailies and more paintings. Then I planned out what I wanted my apartment to look like. This is my floor plan. This is where you get in. This is the left side, the bathroom, the right side, pantry thing. Then you walk in the front. This is the main room. Then when you go here, that's the kitchen. It's a small kitchen. It's not even as big as, like, the number is right, but the drawing doesn't seem right. Then you can go out again, and there's the balcony. And I just wrote down everything, what I have, what I wanted to plan, how I could, like my closet, my desk. Where would I put all those things? So I made different plans on how I like it the most. At this point, I also didn't really know if I would move in with my partner. It wasn't the plan because we just got together in February. But in the end, my partner pretty much moved in with me right away. But we didn't know that yet. So I also only planned for myself because we didn't know how it would be, if my partner would have his own apartment and everything like that. So I only planned for myself, and I think it was a good decision. But now, if we ever move again, of course we will move together officially and we will search for a bigger apartment than this one is. Also thought I would mention that. Then I had a to-do list of all the things I had to do in the new apartment, like things I had to build, things I had to throw away, things I had to call, everything like that. Like there's a lot of stuff you have to do when you move. Then I have an April page, sleep and steps tracker, my April finances, my school assignments, a little cover page. April was very messy. And then we're into May. Here I think it's getting a little better again. I had more time. I was settled in because in April on the 15th, I think, or the weekend over the 15th is where I moved. So there I had a lot to do, a lot to build. And that's also the first time I slept in this apartment. Then we're into May, where I was more settled in and had more time for my journal again. And so I have my May page, my habits page, steps and sleep tracker, school page, school assignments and study tracker, my May finances, more May finances, then things I still had to buy for the apartment that I still needed, and things to buy food, so like a grocery list. Then we're into the dailies, more dailies, more dailies. Still didn't write as much down apparently, so there's just 2 things sometimes. Then we're into June. Again, a calendar spread, a June page, habits tracker, steps tracker and sleep tracker, school tracker, school assignments and study tracker, work page, food I ate in June, because now that I lived alone, I wanted to have an overview that I keep on eating healthy. At least I tried, it didn't always work, but that I have a look at that. My June finances, and then again my dailies, more dailies, and even more dailies, and some more pictures of my apartment in the moving process. Because even though I was settled in, it took me some time to clean everything up and find a place for everything. Then we're into July. Again, a calendar spread. July page, habits, steps and sleep tracker. Work page, and again what I ate, so I have an overview over that. July finances, work plan. This one I finished again, I think. And another to-do list with apartment things and everything I still had to do, so I could check it up. So I could cross it, or check it, I don't know. Just to see what I have finished and what I still needed to finish. And then again, we're into the dailies, more dailies, and more dailies. Here, more dailies, and here we made a plan on what I would do in the household, what my partner would do in the household, and what we both would do, because we needed to figure that out. Because before we were both a little overwhelmed, so we made a plan for that to have more structure. Then an empty page. I'm not sure why I left it empty. Maybe I missed a page. That's very possible. And then we're into August. Again, a calendar page. August page, habits, steps tracker and sleep tracker. Work page, what I ate. August finances, more August finances, and some more things I needed to do. Then we're into the dailies again. More dailies, some more dailies, and some more dailies. And then I think that's the end of the journal. I have some empty pages left. I also took out some pages if I needed them, as you can see here. Then I had a page, 20 things to do 24 times in 2024. I think I never really finished it. I also wanted to write down the date, but I remembered that pretty much in the end of the setup, so that also didn't really work out. And I'm pretty sure I finished a few of those that I didn't fill in. Then I also have a page, Don't Ignore in 2024. So these were just some goals. The ones I fulfilled and finished, I filled in and put the date next to it. And here as well. And another page I cut out. Then I had a page left over for a finances page. I can still use that one, but I always forget that I have it. And then in the back pocket I have February, work, school, and when I had free time. I don't know, I guess I had to plan something here. A train ticket, because we had a workshop from work about social media that was pretty pointless, but we had to go. Another ticket, I think I have the ticket of my partner as well. Then school stuff. We had to learn how to write letters and emails. Then a work note that I don't have to go to school because my boss needs me at work, which that was my old boss, and he really liked to do that because I was good at school, so he thought I wouldn't need school and wanted me to come into work, which I preferred to go to school instead of work, and all my other colleagues would have preferred to work instead of school, but I was the one that had to go. That made me a little mad sometimes. And here, this is what I did instead of the workshop. Or while they explain stuff and to, I don't know, get ideas. I just doodled a lot. And my partner also doodled on here. So I thought I would keep that. So that's all that is inside of this journal. Let's put it back here. So that's the end of the first journal. That was until August. So let's look at the second journal. This one is from September to the end of the year. And the journal was Schreibliebe. That means writing love. So love for writing. And I found that at a grocery store, like supermarket, grocery store mix. And I did like it, but it also had very thin pages. I did a grid spacing page first up. Then I did a future log. I didn't do that far into the future log because it was just the end of the year. So I did until December, January and February, and then I thought I would have a new journal anyway, and then I would have a complete future log again. So I only did until February. Then we're into September. I did a calendar spread. And I think I was a little bored of the very minimalistic style, so this time I printed out some pictures and played around with that. We're into the September pages and habit tracker, steps and sleep tracker. I also used stamps for the title. You can see here I glued pages together, but I gave up after some time because it was a waste of pages and I just was too lazy for it. But in the beginning I did that. Also, it didn't look very nice. Then I had a work page, what I ate page, a school page, assignments and study page, my September finances, more finances, and then we're into the dailies, which I made a little more fun with the pictures. I really like how these look. Then a packing list, because I went on vacation with my mother. Was also very strange. Was the first time I didn't see my partner daily or almost daily, so that was strange as well. More dailies, some more dailies. Again, I always like to keep the things from restaurants. And here I went to a park with my mom. And more dailies. And even more dailies. And here I had made an online order on Amazon. And I wanted to check if everything arrived. and when it arrived. So because it was a big order, so I didn't want to miss anything. More dailies. It also was very nice if I didn't have enough to write. I could just glue in more pictures and make it look pretty and not just empty. So I also liked that. Here again, some more pictures. Here again was a memory from the vacation with my mom. Here as well. It was really nice. I got a old kind of receipt where it's still handwritten, not printed. I really liked that, so I wanted to keep that. And then we're into October, where again I had a calendar spread, and again with some pictures to make it prettier, and also stickers. And I think here I also stopped to glue the pages together. Then we have an October page, habits, steps and sleep tracker, work page, what I ate in October, school page, assignments and study page, or study tracker, my October finances, and then we're into the dailies again. I really like how it looks with the pictures. I think it's so much more interesting, even though the concept is exactly the same. I just glued in some pictures. I think I glued in the pictures first. Then I again wrote down just the day, wrote down what I wanted to write down. Then again next day. When this day was finished, I wrote down the next day, and so on and so forth. I think the stickers came in the end because I didn't want to waste space with the stickers in case I needed it. So I did the stickers at last because I wouldn't have known how much space there would be left. But I glued the pictures in first because they didn't take away that much space and it made it look way prettier. Then more dailies with pictures. And I think here it was beginning that my printer was running out of ink. So I think after that spread, I didn't use as many pictures anymore. Here I got new brushes. I really love those brushes. They are my favorite. It's these Tombow dual brush pens. And I always use these for bullet journaling. They're really nice. They have a small tip and they have a brush tip. And these are my favorite pens, but I was running out of them. In the past, I always had bought one pen when I found one or some small sets, but because I used them so much, I ordered a complete box set and made a pen page for reference. And here I had some more Amazon orders, and again I wanted to check off if everything came. Then we have some more dailies with pictures and stickers. Again, more dailies with pictures and stickers. It was nice if there was something like that, like what would have been left empty to fill it up with stickers and pictures. I think it looks a lot prettier that way. And here again, some more dailies. And then we're into November. And here I used stickers. But as I said, my printer was running out of ink. And after that, I didn't glue in pictures anymore because I had to buy printer ink first, but I still wanted to use my journal, so I just did it without the pictures. First I wanted to glue them in later, but that was complicated, so I just left it out and just used stickers. Again, a calendar page, November page, habits, steps and sleep tracker. As you can see, my beginning pages are always the same. Work, what I ate, school, assignments and study tracker. Then my finances for November, some more finances, and then we're into the dailies again. Again, simple, no pictures, no stickers, just very simple and minimalistic, which doesn't look as nice, or I guess it looks fine, but not as fun, but it's very quick and effective, so I just did it like that. More dailies. Also, you can see how different the days can be. Like sometimes it's just that much, and sometimes I have a lot to say. So it's very good for that. if you don't have anything pre-planned, so you can have enough space no matter how much you want to write. That's the very nice thing about the daily tracking and not pre-planning a week. More dailies, even more dailies. Then I made a spread about Arcane, but I accidentally made it upside down. But I was watching Arcane and I was really inspired by it. I really love Arcane. I didn't play League of Legends before, but I watched Arcane and really loved it. I also love the playlist. This is also what this page is. My Arcane playlist. I wrote down my favorite songs if you're interested. I always wrote down the song, the artist, who it is about, and some lyrics, like some favorite lyrics. And also what I wanted to say, I've never played League of Legends, but thanks to my partner, I also started to play League of Legends. But not very much, just sometimes. Just as a fun activity. So that's that page. I don't know how it got upside down, but it happened. But it's fine. I still really like this page. And then we're into December already. Again, I made a calendar page, December page, habits. Here you can see I probably left some space for pictures, but I never printed any out. Then steps and sleep. Here in the middle, it seems like I lost the color and then I found it again. Looks very funny, but I like it. So steps and sleep tracker, a work page and what I ate in December, school page, assignments and study tracker and also what I had to study. Then my December finances, more December finances. Then I gifts page because of course December is Christmas time, so I wrote down some gift ideas and how much I spent on them. So I would have an overview for that. Then also plants, because I had some plants in my new apartment. Spoiler, they're all dead now because I'm very bad with plants. That's why I made a tracker, but it didn't help. They died anyway, because the problem is I'm not used to having plants, so I will always forget that I have plants. No matter how many trackers I have, how many alarms or anything, at some point I will forget. So I'm not buying plants anymore, or just Lego plants or dried flowers or something that won't go to waste. And also because my partner is allergic, so it's better not to have real plants anyway. Even though I've only bought things without the allergic thing. So like just leaf plants or cacti or stuff like that. But I can even kill these plants. So I will just leave it alone and get fake plants or stuff like that. Then we're into the dailies again. Some more dailies. Some more dailies. And some more dailies. Then at the end of the year, of course, there's also the Spotify Wrapped. And I always like to do a page for that. So I made a page for that, which I think is pretty fun. I just like to make memory pages like that. Then some meal ideas. Because again, I moved out and I had to meal prep and meal plan. So I wrote down some meal ideas and also when I made them. Some more dailies. Then we were at my partner's parents' where we had like a Christmas party, I guess, and what we ate there. So I made a little Christmas menu with the drinks we had, appetizers, main course, side dishes and desserts. I really liked that one. Then I also made a page for the gifts I got and glued some in. I also really like this page. I also left one space for my friend, but we were very bad at meeting at each other, so I still have her Christmas present. Then more dailies, then some work notes. We had office meeting, or like I didn't work in an office, but like a meeting with stuff we had to talk about. So I wrote down the notes for that. And then at the end of the year, I made a little memory page. So this is January, a picture I liked and what happened. Same thing for February, what happened and a picture I liked. March, what happened and a picture. As I said, end of March, I got the keys for my apartment. And these were the Valentine flowers with my partner. Then in April, picture inside the apartment, like not my unit, in the elevator of the apartment. I really love that I have my own bookshelves now, that I also can have big bookshelves. Then September, a picture I liked and what happened. This was from vacation with my mom. Then October, things that happened. Apparently there was a lot going on, and in the end I didn't really have space left for a picture. So there's no picture for October, but a lot of things that happened. Then same thing for November, picture I liked and what happened. And December, again a picture and things that happened. Then I have some more finance stuff on this page and some more pictures I had left over because sometimes I couldn't decide which pictures to use, and some I just liked so much that I used them twice apparently. So that was January, some little notes I made. So this is January, February, March. Apparently I didn't have one for April. Then I also didn't have one for May. I don't know. It was just left over, I guess. Then July and August. I got this ring from my partner. It's a massage ring when you're anxious, which I was a lot at that time because I was working at the cash register and I didn't really like it. And I have a problem with skin picking, so that was a good alternative. And here I lost my earring in a work phone. And I was very glad I found it again. But I was very surprised where I found it. Then we got some furniture for the balcony. Made a picture of that. That was in that was in August still. Then this is September. I think this also is September. Then October. Oh, there I glued some pages together again. Then into November, I got these flowers from my partner, hanged some pictures in the apartment, went to a art thing with my mom, made my first cherry pie thing. I don't know what it's called in English, but it's a recipe from my mom and I really like it, so I had to do it myself. And then we're into December. We got that one from the mother of my partner, and we really liked that one. Like, we still really like it, but I changed the place where it is. Then some wraps, the first time I made wraps. I just like making pictures of a lot of things. And more of December. Here I had some things from work I wanted to have. Every time I was sick, when I had to work, when I had free and stuff like that. So I thought it would be good to have. Even though the program never really worked because it always said I don't have any vacation left, which is just wrong. So the program didn't really work as well. But I thought it would be good to have evidence or like to have something to show for. I don't know, I just kept that. And then some empty pages again. Here I was planning my vacation because I wasn't sure when I would need vacation and how I would need vacation, so I made a plan for that. Because always like after a month or 2 months I was exhausted from work. I also was in a lot of different departments, and at this time I was one of the most stressful ones, where you have to fill up the shelves and stuff. So you had to be quick, had to carry a lot of heavy things. And then I also was at the cash register, so that was really stressing me out. So I asked my boss, because there also was a boss change in the year, and I asked my new boss if I could go to a different department. I think I also had a picture of that. Let me look. Oh, and also we had a second store that was further away. We also had to go there sometimes, which also was stressful, but that was not what I was searching for. I don't know, maybe it was in the dailies. I don't find it right now. Anyway, so I also made the cash register. We had a second store, and the second store was closing. So they also were people from the second store starting at our store. Like, it was a little bit of a mess. But I talked to my boss because I was very stressed out because I had the most complicated departments to do, like heavy lifting and working with money. So I asked if I could go into a different department, and this is a picture from there, because my boss was really nice and even gave me my own department, which was dining, so where the chairs and tables and sideboards and stuff like that is. That was my own department, but here I am in the sleep department, which I also did a lot. I had a second boss there, which was the boss of the sleep department, but he also worked a lot together with me. So I was very thankful to get away from the heavy lifting and stuff. It's a lot better at that department here, because it was just different work. It wasn't the same. And I really needed a change, and I was very thankful that I got it. That's also something I wanted to tell you. So I was very, very happy about that. But let's go back. Right, then we had the planning for vacation. That's also why I needed vacation pretty much every month, because I was just overwhelmed, overworked. So I tried to plan out vacation every month or every second month, so I wouldn't get into burnout or something. So I looked how I could plan it the best way. And then I have again a page, don't ignore in 2024. So some things I wanted to do, but I forgot to write down the dates, or sometimes it took me more than one day to do it. So that's this page. And then we're in the end again. And in the back page, I just have this from the vacation with my mother. And it was a plan, like a city map thing. So we would get around in the city and wouldn't be totally lost. Right, this was the city we were staying in Constance in Germany. This is where we had a vacation. And then this side is Switzerland. Like, Switzerland was right next to it. So we also had a card for that if we decided to drive over there as well. And I like to keep things from vacations. Sometimes I glue it in as well, but this one is too big to glue it in, so I just like to keep it in a back pocket. But that's it. That's my 2024 in bullet journals. I hope you liked this flip through. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next.